I'm Ethan Wilson, but I've got an alpha wife. A frigid, bad-tempered alpha at that. After my awakening, I realized I'm just the cannon fodder villain while he's got an omega first love. Only a lunatic would stay married to this rigid alpha. So I dumped him and went bar-hopping to flirt with omegas. That same night, Lucas pinned me against his 8-pack abs, his usually stoic mouth spewing filth. Thought you were an enigma? Already dripping from one touch. Cat got your tongue? Shut up. Just shut the hell up. Lucas. My rut's hitting. Kiss me. Fuck off. Just one peck. Smack. TCH. Fourth time getting slapped. First time? Newlyweds awkwardness. Second? Pretended he was shy. Third? 3 strikes rule. But fourth? If I take suppressants tonight, I'm no enigma. Rolling my tongue against my cheek, I glared at Lucas' unfairly beautiful face. What's wrong with claiming my own wife? Lucas. When he looked up, I lunged for the gland on his neck. Before my teeth grazed that sandalwood-scented skin, his kick sent me sprawling. Even my ribs ached. Ethan, you rabid mutt. Lucas cursed, his Oxfords crushing my swollen cheek. From this angle, I could see his mile-long legs and the firm curve of his ass in tailored slacks. My blatant staring made him grind his heel harder. The cold leather mixed with pain electrified my nerves. So fucking hot. My perfect match. I licked my lips, tongue dragging obscenely across his shoe's toe cap. Mr. Carter, this part of you is so rigid. I panted suggestively. Even his frigid demeanor couldn't resist 100% compatibility. Lucas Adams apple-bobbed, pupils dilating. He snapped back quickly, grabbing my jaw to deliver another slap. Absolute bastard. Doesn't see me as human. Trembling with rage, Lucas fled like escaping wildfire. Small victory, at least I rattled him. My cheeks burned as I stood. Bruises meant nothing compared to worse beatings he's given. I'd endure anything short of castration. Gathering Lucas' clothes into a nest, I FaceTimed Alex while burrowing into the fabric. Ethan, maybe I'm not really an enigma after all. How else can I explain getting my ass kicked by an alpha? I huddled under a dress shirt, grumpily jabbing a syringe of suppressants into my thigh. The burning heat subsided after a minute. Got schooled by your hubby again? The pixelated face on my phone screen shook with laughter. TSK. I warned you when you were chasing him. Ice Queen types are hard to handle, let alone when they're alphas. What self-respecting alpha would willingly get marked in this society? He wasn't wrong, but he needed to shut up. I'd fallen hard for Lucas at first sight. That's why I'd proposed marriage when the Carter Group neared bankruptcy. Spent $100 million paying his debts, yet couldn't even hold his hand. Don't remind me. He kicked me in the face this time. I angled the camera to show my swollen cheek. Look at this masterpiece. Jesus, Ethan. You're supposed to be an enigma. How are you getting domestic abused by your own spouse? Alex's exasperated sigh crackled through speakers. Just take what's yours already. Once you knot him, he can't walk away. I inhaled the fading bergamot scent from Lucas' abandoned sweater. I would if I could. He's stronger. Bullshit. No alpha overpowers an enigma. You're just scared of hurting your precious ice prince. Maybe. Truth was, I always held back during our skirmishes. If I went all out. But I feared losing even these violent interactions if we crossed that line. Gotta go. My omega's coming home. Alex winked. Seriously though? If this keeps up, divorce him. You're the Wilson family's heir. Could have anyone. The call disconnected as my tracking app blared alerts. Warning. Target entering high-risk zone. My blood froze. Lucas had rejected my advances hours ago. Yet now he was at Heatwave Lounge? That den of pheromone-crazed degenerates? I scrambled from the nest of Lucas' clothes, barely grabbing a jacket before sprinting to my Porsche. The night I'd first seen Lucas flooded my mind younger, fiercer, bleeding from split knuckles as he stood over 3 unconscious alphas in that same damned bar. Back when the Carter Group was crumbling, when creditors circled like vultures. He'd broken a champagne bottle over some creep's head for groping him. Watched by jeering patrons as 6 alphas pinned him to sticky floors. That's when I'd unleashed my Enigma pheromones. Crushed the entire room's resistance. Carried his thrashing body to my penthouse. Stole kisses from those furious rose-petal lips between his attempts to break my nose. Even when he'd finally kicked me off the bed, I'd laughed through bruised ribs, known I was utterly screwed. Now my tires screeched outside Heatwave's neon hellscape. Security recognized me instantly. Mr. Wilson. Mr. Carter's in the VIP lounge with... I didn't wait for details. The elevator doors opened to Lucas straddling some blonde Adonis on a velvet couch. Fingers tangled in the stranger's hair. His glacial gaze met mine. Deliberately slow, Lucas leaned down and bit the whimpering man's mating gland. The deal was simple. I'd clear all his debts, and he'd marry me while unconditionally tending to me during my ruts. Lucas agreed, though clearly, he hadn't fully honored his end. So much for unconditional. I sneered, slamming the accelerator as the car shot through the night like a bullet. Lucas better not be crossing me, or I couldn't promise what I'd do. The bar throbbed with neon and deafening bass, pheromones from countless alphas and omegas clashing in the haze. Covering my nose, I shoved through the crowd toward the VIP lounge upstairs where the tracking app pinned Lucas. Halfway up the steps, muffled giggles spilled from the cracked door. There he sat, still in his tailored black suit from earlier, though his tie hung loose and shirt unbuttoned, lounging like royalty at some gala, if not for the pretty omega draped across his lap. My grip splintered the doorframe. I nearly stormed in, yet morbid curiosity held me back. Was Lucas truly only into omegas? The omega oozed allure, his scent reducing nearby alphas to panting wrecks. All except Lucas, right? The man's practically frigid. When the omega grazed somewhere sensitive, Lucas yanked his hair back with a TSK. I'm married. My chest swelled, until foreign memories flooded my mind. This world was fiction. Ethan was the villain, a rich brat forcing the male lead into marriage. Lucas, the protagonist, would grow to loathe me, take countless lovers, and ultimately team up with Oliver, that omega on his lap, to destroy me. My fate, betrayed, bankrupt, and gang-raped by alphas in some asylum. Meanwhile, Lucas and Oliver would ride into the sunset. Everything clicked. No wonder our relationship felt off. I'd been playing a scripted fool. Cold dread pooled in my gut. Screw that. The old Ethan who obsessed over Lucas was dead. New Ethan valued self-respect over chasing some icy CEO. Here's my husband. Lucas's bored voice cut through my epiphany. He'd spotted me. Too late for sweet talk. Steeling myself, I strode in smiling. The room tensed. After all, Ethan still carried some weight in their circles. Being both an enigma and the youngest heir of the Wilson family, I'd built a reputation as an arrogant brat who threw my weight around. My notorious jealousy toward anyone getting close to Lucas didn't help matters. I'd publicly humiliated enough of Lucas admirers to fill a stadium. The crowd's judgmental stares practically screamed cockblocker at me. Not that I cared. This wasn't the same Ethan they remembered. I sauntered through the sea of scowls, planting myself in front of Lucas with a shit-eating grin. What a lively party. Lucas didn't think to invite me? His eyebrow twitched at my casual tone. When he didn't respond, I grabbed the nearest omega's waist, some pretty thing with Bambi eyes, and flopped onto the couch like I owned the place. My thumb stroked deliberate circles over the omega's hip bone, earning a breathy gasp. Christ, Lucas, I drawled, feigning shock. Don't tell me you're getting stingy in your old age? Last I checked, you've already got your precious little omega. I nuzzled the blushing guy's neck, inhaling his cotton candy scent. Sweetheart, you think Mr. Carter here wants me gone. The omega melted against me like warmed honey. And no one could ever dislike you, Mr. Wilson. Lucas' knuckles whitened around his whiskey glass. I could practically hear his molars grinding. Mission fucking accomplished. Leaning in, I smacked a loud kiss on my temporary companion's cheek before bolting for the exit. The shattering crystal behind me sounded like victory bells. Night air slapped me awake. 3 years had transformed Lucas alpha pheromones into a suffocating tidal wave. A force I'd once craved now churned my stomach. Screw the main lead and his tragic romance. I gunned my Ferrari's engine toward the mansion, hellbent on looting every Rolex and Picasso that hadn't been pawned during Lucas' bankruptcy saga. My phone buzzed mid-heist. Alex's name flashed my ride or die since prep school. Text me, emergency relocation. Find me a penthouse with military-grade security. Extra points if it's in another time zone from Carter's bitch ass. Text, Alex, you serious about divorcing Satan incarnate? Who's gonna run his precious empire? Text me, not my circus, not my monkeys. Text Alex, bold move. You know he'll come for you. Text me, let him try. New Ethan plays dirty. I chucked a Van Gogh knockoff into my duffel bag. The old me would have groveled for Lucas' attention. The new me? I'd rather torch his entire legacy than say I do again. I haven't decided what to do yet. After all, that bastard Lucas is pretty formidable. But I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. After packing my things, I texted Lucas, Mr. Carter, let's part amicably. I've drafted the divorce papers. My lawyer will deliver them to Carter Group tomorrow. Sign them. I powered off my phone, yanked out the SIM card, flushed it down the toilet, and walked out of the mansion without looking back. I couldn't care less how Lucas would react. From this moment on, I'd live for myself. I'd chase my own happiness, travel the world, experience every thrill life had to offer. Okay, fine. I chickened out. Maybe I'd lay low until things cooled off. Let's face it, in a direct confrontation with present-day Lucas, I get demolished. 2 months passed without a peep from Carter Group. Good riddance. Alex found me viciously pummeling a life-sized Lucas body pillow when he barged in. I'd custom ordered this monstrosity years ago, complete with Lucas's annoyingly perfect face and abs. A pathetic consolation prize after he'd caught me trying to scent market and nearly killed me. Now it made the perfect punching bag. Ethan, Alex drawled, crunching into an apple from my fruit bowl. You've been gone 2 months. Still obsessed? This isn't obsession. It's stress relief. I kicked the pillow's groin area with extra force. Sure. He smirked. Just don't cuddle it tonight like last week. I collapsed into a weeping heap. What? Alex? I'm kind. Talented. The whole package. Why'd Lucas choose him? Alex hauled me up by the collar. Enough. I'll fix this. This turned out to be the city's most exclusive nightclub. Neon lights pulsed as bouncers scanned retinas at the entrance. You're insane. I hissed. Lucas will murder me. Our divorce wasn't even finalized yet. This counted as cheating. Alex smacked my head. Ethan, since when do you care? Lucas has been cozying up to Omegas for years. Remember why you left? Oh, right. Why pine over a toxic alpha like Lucas when sweet, submissive Omegas existed? Especially when Lucas was still entangled in that 300-chapter melodrama with Oliver. I'd have to be brain damaged to choose him. Go. Gotta hand it to Omega's sweet-smelling, soft, and obedient. Just as I'd picked the best match to drink with, Oliver kept glancing at me. That look, like he was confirming something yet uncertain. Minutes later, he pointed at me with sudden realization. Oh, you're that wanted criminal. You're the criminal. Your whole damn family are criminals. If this were an alpha, I'd have decked him already. But he's an Omega, gotta play nice. Seeing my "Are you insane?" expression, Oliver helpfully fetched a wanted poster, freshly torn down, my face glaring beneath a laundry list of charges. DUI, Omega harassment, unlawful confinement, assault, and alpha molestation? 70 counts? Lucas has gone bats hit. Why not accuse me of raping every alpha in the galaxy? And who authorized this? I'll sue for defamation. The kicker? The bounty 100 million. 100 million. My eyes burned staring at that number. Sell myself out and I'm set for life. And Mr. Wilson, you're really wanted? Oliver stammered, trembling like a leaf. I seized his wrist, electrified. Yes. Report me. We'll take the money and disappear. Oliver. Perfect plan. Ditch Lucas. Get rich. Keep the beauty. Triple win. Well, sweetheart. Genius. Right? I beamed, awaiting praise. He gave me the village idiot stare, then dialed Crime Stoppers. Harsh. Harsher still was Alex's bootlicking grin on the phone. Yes, Mr. Carter. Ethan's secured. About the reward? Absolutely. See you soon. Hanging up, He reverted to his carefree smirk. Sorry, man. Can't cross Lucas. He shrugged like I was roadkill. Alex, you sold me out for 100 million? 100 million. No. He wiggled 2 fingers. 200. Lucas doubled it for delivery. Bless his blackened heart. My phone's tracking app blared. Heart lurching. I bolted, only to smash into a rock-hard chest at the door. Sandalwood engulfed me. Lucas, already here? I looked up into those bottomless eyes. His usually deep eyes were tinged with crimson. Terrifying. Run. Why aren't you running? One arm wrapped around my waist while his other hand gripped my chin, forcing me to meet his gaze. Lucas, let me explain. Explain? Fine. I'll give you that chance. His voice held a terrifying calm. Tell me why you ran. Why you wanted a divorce. And his jaw tightened. Why you've been fooling around with another Omega. The last words came out laced with fury and hurt. I must be hallucinating to think Lucas could feel hurt. My stammering got cut off as he threw me over his shoulder. Lucas, put me down. I pounded his back, kicking uselessly. He strode forward like I weighed nothing. Lucas, you bastard. Let go. My protests died when 2 firm smacks landed on my backside. The shock of pleasure mixed with humiliation silenced me. Icy water blasted from the shower head, making me yelp. When I tried scrambling up, Lucas shoved me back into the tub. He scrubbed me like a filthy mutt, especially the waist where that Omega had touched, nearly scraping off skin. Are you insane? It's just a shower. I glared up through dripping lashes. Bathroom lights haloed his icy beauty. My gaze trailed down to those sculpted pecs shifting beneath damp fabric. I swallowed hard. Lucas, maybe we could. His scent ambushed me before the thought finished. Not the restrained pheromones from before. This was pure alpha aggression. Dark cedar and gunpowder overwhelming my orange soda fragrance until the room reeked of our collision. Strong arms hauled me from the water. My legs buckled, clinging to him for support as the world spun. Every gasp dragged more of his addictive scent into my lungs. Damn alphas and their unfair advantages. Lucas, tone it down or I won't be able to mark you. Lucas's eyes darkened, his lips pressing into a thin line. You don't need to. Before I could react, I was thrown onto the soft bed. Then Lucas's tall frame covered me, pinning me firmly beneath him. Lucas, his mouth sealed mine in relentless kisses. I lost track of time, only aware of his devastating skill that threatened to drown me in tenderness. But soon, realization dawned. Lucas, where the hell are you putting your mouth? He kept nipping at sensitive skin, hands roaming freely. My frustration mounted as his pheromones overpowered mine despite me being an enigma. Even through lovesick haze, the truth became undeniable. Lucas might not be an alpha at all. This couldn't be happening. My fragrant partner couldn't morph into some dominant top. I struggled to reverse positions but melted against his sculpted abs instead. Humiliation burning my cheeks as my traitorous body betrayed me. Lucas chuckled darkly, thumb swiping across my glistening lower lip. Thought you were an enigma? His usually curt tongue turned wicked. Why were you dripping from one touch? Cat got your tongue? I desperately tried covering his mouth as our 100% pheromone compatibility triggered primal submission. Not mere biological cycles, but genetic level surrender. Didn't you want the mark? I trembled out. Patience. Those artist's fingers framed my face, forcing eye contact. Markings forever. We do this properly. His lashes lowered as he claimed my mouth. First, we fuck. The aftermath left me feeling roadkill, adjacent, particularly certain overused areas. Turning toward the sleeping Lucas, I marveled at his unfairly beautiful features, the long lashes casting shadows, lips slightly parted. This face could make me forgive anything, even forced bonding. But why did he have to be someone else's first love? Resentment flared as I sank teeth into his flawless back, leaving perfect indentations. Ethan. Lucas awoke with a pained rasp, sleep rough fingers circling my wrist. You some kind of biter? Right. I was born in the year of the dog. Got a problem with that? I challenged, even considering taking another bite. Lucas pinned my wrists against the mattress, his weight pressing me down. Seems I didn't work hard enough last night if you've still got energy to bite, he murmured, his punishing kiss swallowing my retort. His lips moved with methodical intensity until I nearly surrendered to last night's madness again. Wait, I shoved against his chest, gasping. Lucas, what exactly are you? His eyebrow arched. You seemed pretty certain last night. So you've known you're an enigma all along? Obviously. Why didn't you tell me? His laugh held no humor. Would you have married me to pay off my debts if you'd known? My silence answered him. Alex was right. What alpha would willingly submit to being marked? Let alone by a top-tier enigma? Now answer me. Lucas's voice turned glacial. Why disappear and file for divorce? I avoided his piercing gaze. We're not compatible. Incompatible? His knuckles whitened on the sheets. With 100% compatible pheromones? Or is this about that omega? My head snapped up at Oliver's mention. What did he tell you? Nothing. I saw you too. I wasn't jealous. The lie tasted bitter. How could I explain knowing our story's tragic ending? That I die imprisoned while they built their perfect life? You're meant for each other. My voice cracked. The main couple. I'm just cannon fodder. The villain you'll destroy together. Tears streamed down as I choked out memories not yet lived, electroshock treatments. Alpha Guard's rough hands. Oliver's pitying smile through asylum bars. Lucas stared like I'd sprouted horns. Did I damage your brain that time? I'm not crazy. Clearly you are. His clinical tone cut deeper than anger. My devoted husband suddenly chases omegas and spouts delusions? We're seeing Dr. Collins tomorrow. The finality in his voice confirmed it. No one believes the doomed side character. Anyone would think the other person was crazy. Lucas didn't say a word and immediately took me to the hospital. After a series of tests, the doctor declared me physically healthy but mentally unstable. When pressed for reasons, he claimed my prolonged lack of partner's comfort during rut cycles had caused neurological confusion. The brain requires proper maintenance. Otherwise complications arise. The doctor pontificated while sipping bitter tea, then spat out a leaf. I stared speechless. Doctor, is his condition treatable? Lucas asked earnestly. Well, it depends. Generally speaking, consistent pheromone therapy from a bonded partner shows promising results. Thank you. After paying, Lucas shoved me into his car. The entire ride home, I plotted ways to convince him of my sanity. Before I could devise anything, he carried me into the bedroom. Lucas, what are you doing? I tensed as his fingers worked at my buttons. Treatment. I'm not sick. Stop this. Sickness isn't self-diagnosed. The doctor prescribed my pheromones for your recovery. But, no buts. Cooperate. That devastating face could make me simp for him again with one glance. So I yielded. After 3 consecutive days of his therapy, I finally snapped. Enough. Where's the guy who wouldn't let me touch him? Lucas bit my shoulder before mumbling. I feared you'd hate being marked. Yet even without marking, you left anyway. Everything clicked. This idiot had been overcomplicating things, completely underestimating how hard I'd simp for his gorgeous face and how shamelessly I'd chase him. Then why punch me? My cheek still throbbed. He lowered his lashes. Didn't you enjoy it? I did. Lucas returned my phone after installing upgraded tracking software. Now with real-time GPS, call monitoring, and remote control features. I frowned. You knew I was surveilling you? Obviously. Yet you went to bars? Wanted to see if you'd get jealous. Damn you. Persisting, I demanded, why let that omega hit on you? I knew you were outside. Wanted to see if you'd get mad. As if he didn't know whether I'd get mad or not. How much trouble had I caused for him already? Then why didn't you reply to my texts? Why ignore my calls? Lucas smirked and uttered for words, playing hard to get. Now I saw it clearly. This guy wasn't some unattainable ice prince, but a scheming fox, the calculating kind. After Lucas and I made up, Alex disappeared, claiming he didn't want a third wheel. Truth was, I knew he feared my retaliation. After all, he'd sold me out for Lucas' $200 million. Not that I planned to actually hold it against him. If not for him, Lucas and I might still be stuck in that awkward stalemate. In a way, he became our accidental matchmaker. 2 weeks later, He finally cracked and sent an apology text. Frowny face. Dad. Still not mad? I couldn't help laughing at the message. Same shameless bastard as always. Get lost. Come on, Dad. I'm sorry. Really sorry. I'll get on my knees. Okay. What's your kneeling got to do with me? Everything. You're my dad. Piss off with your brown-nosing. Who are you texting? Lucas' voice suddenly came from behind, startling me. Nobody. Just some idiot, I said offhandedly, setting my phone aside. Lucas walked over and wrapped his arms around me from behind, chin resting on my shoulder. How idiotic. The kind who'd sell out his bro for $200 million. That does sound pretty idiotic. Lucas nodded approvingly. By the way, I've been developing new software. Want to test it? What kind? Dating simulator. Dating simulator? I grew curious. Simulate how? Well, his voice dropped, lips brushing my ear as he whispered. Different romantic scenarios, alternate relationship dynamics. And my cheeks burned as he finished. Is this software even legitimate? Why don't we find out? Lucas took my hand, leading me toward the study. Wait, it's broad daylight. I'll close the curtains. Same as night. But no buts. Be good. Help me beta test. Those soulful eyes spoke volumes. The study door clicked shut, and soon peculiar noises drifted through the wood. 3 months later at the hospital checkup, the doctor said my condition hadn't fully resolved. Truth was, I still flinched from my partner's touch. Past beatings combined with an Enigma's permanent mark left my defenses sky high, even after countless intimate moments. Lucas surprisingly didn't press the issue, perhaps fearing I'd bolt again. The workaholic actually took leave to stay home with me, calling it convalescence time. I lounged on the sofa mindlessly channel surfing. Across the room, Lucas sat at his desk reviewing documents, his ash-gray loungewear and slightly tousled hair softening his usual boardroom edge. The domesticity suited him until he opened his mouth. Ethan, come here. His voice shattered the quiet. I glanced up lazily. What? Massage my shoulders. Do your arms not work? My hands are occupied with more pressing matters. He didn't look up from his papers. What's more important than your health? Earning enough to keep you in that ridiculous imported matcha supply. Fine. I trudged over, kneading the surprisingly broad shoulders beneath my palms. The man was built like a damn linebacker. Do you enjoy my physique, Ethan? Huh? It's adequate. Why? His lips quirked. Feel free to explore it whenever you like. My fingers stilled. What's the catch? No catch. He swiveled to face me. All business serious. We're married. Full transparency applies. Even physically, especially physically. Can I touch your abs then? By all means. His shirt hit the floor before I finished breathing. I swallowed hard, pushing my luck further. Can I kiss your pecs? Fine. Lucas' voice held a strange edge, but he agreed. Then, can I mark you? This time I asked cautiously, terrified of rejection. Silence stretched until I thought he'd refuse. Then he suddenly said, We'll see. Depends on your behavior. What kind of answer was that? Your condition's too unstable right now. His fingers brushed my bonding gland, making me shiver. We'll discuss marking later. All right. Clearly claiming Lucas would be a long road ahead. No matter, I had all the time and patience in the world. One day, I'd make him beg me to mark him. I vowed silently. Then he yanked me against him and kissed me until the world spun.